guys, welcome back to my channel. We just got to the part with Make a Journal Kit that I have on my Etsy store. We got to the pockets. I sewed around the pockets on the machine and then glued the pockets to my journal, and then I added the tassels. I did previously, about a couple of minutes ago, did a video. I left something crucial out when you're doing a manila envelope junk journal. You need to support the spine, and go to your local post office and get one of these envelopes, which is tie back. Now you can buy the tie back off of Amazon, but why pay for it when you get it free? And just cut a strip before you put the fabric on. Glue it in your center, and you have to decide how wide you want your spine. If you're doing 2 signatures, 1 signature, 4 or 5 signatures, you make it as big as you need it. You want at least about 1/4 of an inch beyond where your signature is going to be sewn in, to just give it some stability, because this is just paper, and this is very thin 100% cotton, so it's thin. So you have a risk of, if I just sew the signatures in now, they might tear this manila envelope. And I would put it in the front and also on the other side. Glue it before you put your fabric on. Now, if you were crafting along with me, I'm sorry, and you're at this part, I am going to show you how you can just fix it. I mean, in junk journaling, like I said, there are really no mistakes. You can always fix it some kind of way. Now, we have about 1.5 inches. You should have about 1.5 inches space here where we're going to sew our signatures on. So what I'm going to do, in the Make a Journal Kit pack, I put manila envelope. So I kind of put some lines here already to save some time. And I'm just going to cut it out and lay some fabric over it and glue it down to the journal. I'm trying to put my timer on because my camera will cut off in 21 minutes, and I forgot to put the timer on. So let me do that. Let's see. Okay, got my timer set. Alright, so I'm going to use one of my cutting machines. Oh, don't have the cutting piece on it. Don't know what happened to it. Oh, probably on the floor somewhere. I'll use the other one, which I don't particularly care for, but I'm stuck with it. I'm just going to lay it down. And like I said, it's about not quite 1.5 inches space here. That looks a little bit too wide. Yeah, that's a little bit too wide. Let's take it down a little bit. And it wasn't even close to where I marked. Let's see if that's better. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, just going to measure it here. Hope I'm in frame. I'm not going to put another piece on here because I think this will be, I think this should be good. Yeah, I think that'll work. And I'm just going to, I have some scraps left. I'm just going to, I'm just going to cover it. That's all I'm going to do. And you won't see it on this side, so you don't have to worry about the glue. Let's see, you won't have to worry about the glue bleeding through because it's on the other side. Let me take some of this excess off. I think I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because that'll stick a little better and quicker. So like I said, you know, that was a really big not mistake, but a really big thing that I left out, and it's crucial for the stability of your journal. Now, if you had sewn the journals on without reinforcing, it probably might have, you know, lasted. I don't know, but I don't want to take all that time, you know, creating a journal and, you know, the pages fall out. So, or the spine gets torn or damaged. So that's important. That's all I'm going to do is flatten it out. I'm not going to sew this. So, and I'm just going to cut a little bit here. Get some of that excess fabric off. And I need some Fabri-Tac, running low. I'm just going to fold it over and glue it so no raw edges are showing. I stick more to the glue than the glue sticks to the fabric. I'm just making a little triangle. And we're going to cut that off. We're going to cut this off. And then we're just going to put a little bit of glue. Because I was worried. I was like, oh my gosh, I did this video and I forgot one of the most important things. I was like, oh, I don't even know how I forgot that, but you do. All right, let's put this back in. Use it. All right. There you go. See how neat it looks? And all you're going to do, I'm not going to glue it now because I'm going to work on my signatures, but all you're going to do is glue it, and I would let it glue. I would let it glue overnight. You want to make sure it's really glued down good. You can sew it. You can sew the piece separately and then glue it on for decorative, or you can sew it on your journal. But I'm just going to glue mine, and yeah, so see how you can, you know, when you think you've made a mistake, you can always correct it some kind of way. So I'm going to put that up there, and I'm going to empty out my kit of papers. I'm not going to do all the decorations right now. So with the kit, you get tons and tons of all different kinds of paper. You get some vintage, some new, some coffee dyed. So I'm not going to go through all of them because if you go in my Etsy store, they're kind of spread out so you can see them. So I'm just going to start folding my pages. Now, like I said again, these are your basics. They're not a lot of colorful, like you would probably add your own printables that you have, or your scrapbooking paper, which I'm going to add some more colorful papers here, but these are just like basics. So this is the paper I got. I saw someone on, I don't remember her YouTube channel, but she had bought this off of Amazon, and I bought it, but it was all right. It was, but now I've got 500 pieces of these, so things like that. Like I have too much stuff, so that's my goal in making these kits. I'm going to make a bunch of new ones, probably over the weekend, and this one right here, since it's extra long, I am going to fold it here so you just have some extra journaling space. Or sometimes I just leave it unglued. You can glue it and make it a pocket, or you can also make it extra journaling space. So most of the pages that I'm folding right now, they will be too big a lot of them are too big, so I will just cut them off camera. Don't want to bore you. This is a really nice, I love these vintage ledger paper, and I want to hoard them. See, that's an issue too, because I just bought this new, I think it's Echo Park or Carta Bella. I'm not sure. It's Salon, and I've never seen Salon scrapbooking paper and ephemera and all that stuff. Well, I bought everything that I possibly could find, and now I want to hoard it. I don't want to use it. That's a bad thing. I don't think I'm going to put the purple in. That's knitting. Should I put? You know what? I'm just going to put everything in it because I don't really have a theme. I usually theme my journals, before. I'm going to save this. Oh, peach berry cobbler. Ooh, that's my favorite, peach cobbler. I theme everything, and I don't know about anybody else, but I sit there and I have to figure out the color scheme, and then does this match with this? And then I worry myself to death, and then I get the journal together, and then somebody buys it, and I'm excited. I am so excited when someone purchases one of my journals. I'm so happy. And then I package it up, usually wrong, because when I go over to the post office, they tell me I have to repackage it. I put it in the wrong envelope, the wrong whatever. And then as soon as I mail it off, I get nervous. I'm like I just sent a journal to a lady who won my drawing in my giveaway, and I'm like, will she like it? Does it look like? When you get the package and you open it up, does it look like it looks on camera? Does it look better? Does it look worse? Was it not what you expected? So, I drive myself nuts. I don't know. Oh, I love this. I don't want to fold that, because if I fold it, you won't be able to see it. Oh, I'm going to put that over there. And once again, all these papers, I don't expect you to use all of them. Now, like, this is a really old one. You can see how, I love that. Look at that browning around the edge. And a lot of times, the older ledger paper, some of my ledger paper is from the 1700s, 1800s. It's not suitable to fold and put in your journal, but I stick it in there because you can collage. It makes great collaging paper. And this is an old children's book. I'll put that in there. Let's see, here's some of my, this is not coffee dye. This is, of course it's not coffee dyed. Oh, it's food coloring dye. I dye most of my papers like in the spring, summer, and fall. I like to do it outside. I don't have grass or dirt in my backyard. Well, I do have dirt, but it's covered with lots of stones. So what I do is I do all of my dyeing outside, and then I just lay the papers out, not on a windy day, and I dye it outside. Now, in the wintertime, I have to do it in the house, and I'm not crazy about doing it. For one thing, it takes too much time. And like when I do my Christmas gingerbread, I do one page at a time. It takes hours and hours just to get, 10 little sheets of gingerbread paper. So, and I didn't even dye any this year because I didn't feel like it. So one of my customers who bought the gingerbread paper from me last year, she emailed me and asked me to make more, so I made more. So yeah, dyeing paper is not my favorite. And like I said, even though I'm folding all of these, I probably won't use all of them. And that's why I gave you so much and a variety. And like I said, it's basics. It's music sheet. It's dictionary paper. It's old magazines. This is wrapping paper. I kind of like that, but I don't have it. No, I won't use that. I love graph paper in my journal. Like now I'm working on, I made, should I tell this story? Well, I only have 4 minutes left. Wow, it takes so long. I don't know if I should tell this story, but anyway, I made for a friend who mother passed away, I made her a journal, and this is when these were one of my first like 5 journals that I made, and she never came, so I put them away, and one day she came over and she's like, "Where's the journals you made?" She said, "You had something for me," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I do." So I brought the journals down, and she's like, "Oh," and I said, "This one right here I made out of junk mail." I said, "They're called junk journals, and you use up all the junk mail that you get." And so she says, "Well, let me see all the rest of them." So I had to just like about 5 or 6 of them I had made. I don't know. And then she said, "Well, you should have taken these and walked past the shredder and dropped them in." I was like, "Oh." So why I'm telling this story is it took me almost a year or so before I made any more journal. And my next journal was a hardback book, which I'd never made before, and a hidden spine, which I never did before. So it's a little stiff, but it's my garden book. And that's what I'm working on now, because this Sunday I'll drop my seeds and start doing my seeds inside my house. So I can plant them in spring. So I'm excited about that. But never let anyone stop you. See, I should have just kept on going. But I just looked at them and I said, they don't really look that good. So I stopped. And you cannot, whatever you want to do, you cannot let anybody stop you. And of course, in the beginning, it's not going to be great. You're learning how to do this. Anyone who's doing a junk journal for the first time, it's not going to be perfect. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I love making them. I get really a lot of joy, even though I stress. I have to, stop stressing over them. But I do get a lot of joy out of them. And it just takes practice like anything. The first one may not be that great. The second one will be better. So look, I'm going to go cut these up to fit the journal. And then I'll add some of my colorful scrapbooking paper. I don't think I'm going to use any printables in this one. And I'll be back. Thanks. Okay, I'm back to put the signatures in and sew them in. Now, you need to make a template so you know where to put the holes. So use the same, everyone got in the kits, they get a manila folder. So you just lay it down. And basically what I could have done when I did this originally and made the one, I could have made 2. That would have been cut some time. But anyway, just measure the length and the width of the spine and then cut it out. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to write top at the top so I know that every time I lay this down and I put my signatures in, because I don't measure, I don't measure, the holes from one point to the other is not going to be exact. So you need to put top so when you lay this down and then when you do the holes in the signature, they're in the same position. So let's see. You at least give it about a ½ inch from the top, and we're going to do 2 signatures. So I'm going to put them about a ½ inch away from each other. ½ inch. Yep. And then just do the center. Now, if you're not comfortable, of course, you can do your ruler and, mark the dots like that. Now, I have my pokey tool, which I think is called an awl, I think. I'm going to use red to sew the signatures. And if I can pick it up, I got my needle. Oh, wait a minute. This is not the right needle. Yeah, that eye hole is too small. I'll be here forever trying to get the embroidery thread in there. Yeah. Here's my needle. All right. And you can just put it on top and poke the holes through, or if you need to put a little washi tape at the top and bottom, you can do that to hold it. Just poke it through, go up and down a couple of times. To the bottom. Through it. One more hole. And that's my telephone ringing. So now you have your holes. So we're going to put that to the side. Now we're going to put the signatures together. We're going to do it real fast. This is from my Make a Journal kit pack, all the papers. And this is my scrapbooking paper. And then if you see over here, I've got plenty left that I didn't use. Yes, you could make a 3rd or 4th signature or use it for another book. So and you just put them in anyway. There's no rhyme or reason of how you put your papers together, just what looks pleasing to the eye. I always like to, throw some color in there up against maybe a coffee dyed or anything coffee dyed, or either white page or grid paper. I like to throw some color. I've got a bag in here that came in with the kit, so I'm going to use that. Let's see, another coffee dyed. And I did pre-cut them, and I did lay them in, because I don't remember how I put them in, but as you get closer to the center, you're going to have to take a little bit off of each page, because they're going to, protrude out from the original page here, and I really don't like them. And if they do happen to stick out, what I always usually do is either put another piece of scrapbooking paper or some trim if I don't want to sit there and, you know, cut individual pieces. So let's put this blue here. See, because you had the green, and this has green and blue, and then you have the coffee dye. Then I like to pop it with some color. Let's see, let's put that there. We'll put the map. And we'll do this. We've got some color paper here. And we'll put that blue. Put the red and white. It'll look like a flag. Okay. Okay. And I always, like I said, this is a little, it's not thick cardstock, but it's a little bit heavier scrapbooking paper. And this is some cardstock here. Go through it. I don't know about this bag. I'm gonna hold that out. I'm gonna put this in here. And I chose a lot of pattern circles and geometric patterns. I thought that would go good. Not that I'm theming it, but let's see, put this somewhere. Oh, and you do have to make sure your pages are facing upright, because I've done that and sewn the signature in, and noticed that a few of the papers are crooked. They're upside down. So, and I had to, you know, take it apart. So here, that's one. I'm not going to use the bag right now. I might, but these are my scrapbooking paper, and these are the papers that came in the kit. So I like this. I had this polka dot. And then this little polka dot bag. I think that's going to be cute there. We're going to do blue. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the blue stripe. The music. Some pink. Well, it's not really pink. It's red. And this is my long brown paper that I think I'm going to leave it open, because if you want to glue it, and then I just glued the coffee dyed envelope there. Lots of storage. See, once again, I want to pop it. And I do have pockets. I just haven't glued them. I'll glue them later. I'm not going to take time to do that. Yeah. I think I might have, I'm not sure. I think I left some pages out of here. I'm not sure now. I know there were about 20 pages each. Okay. Well, let me put this here. I don't know if I want that doily in there either. This is red. I wanted a little piece of red in there. And, right, this is, okay, so this must all go with this. Possibly. And I like doing shorter pieces and, you know, not all the same size. That's a little bit too boring for me. You have to move this one. I'll put it in here. Pop some color there. It's too white. me count these because this one looks awful thick. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay. 19, 20. Yep. It's cool. Put this here next to the green. I like the brown next to the green. Okay, there are your signatures. Now, this is my first signature. I'm not going to sew 2 signatures in. I know everybody has seen it 1,000 times, so I'm only going to sew 1 signature in just to show you the process. Now, you need clips, and you need to go through, say if you have like a piece, this is a little bag, and you need to place it where you want it. Make sure all of your pages are where they're supposed to be, because once you sew them in, they're stuck there. So if you need to center them, do that. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now I need to get some clips. And then once I sew the signatures in, the only thing we have to do is do some ephemera, decorate some pockets, things like that, and then decorate the cover. And then we'll be finished. Just want to make sure I have everything. I didn't flip it upside down. No. Okay, take your template here. And I just lay it down. Now sometimes, well, most of the times I make the paper a little bit smaller, well, shorter than, because I don't want any paper hanging out from the top or bottom. So this will be a little bit longer than your actual pages, but just center it. Leave, like if you have a little hangover, make sure it's the same at the top and the bottom. And just center it, okay, like that. There you go. And just where you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Let me move my camera a little bit. See it? This is where the holes are, and just put a little dot. Nothing heavy, because you don't want to see it after you sew it. And a little dot. That's all you have to do. Take your pokey tool and just punch it through. Please be careful that you don't, which I've done, punch and tried to put a hole in my hand. I'm going to move this down like this so I can get in there. Poke right here. It's a little tough. Oh, that was hard. Okay, there we go. Here's my needle, and I did have some thread right here. Oh, here it is. And I'm using red because I think that would match, because my ties are going to be red. I popped everything with red. There's I know there's a lot of turquoise and lime green, but there's these bright red little polka dots, and that's what I wanted to pop this journal with. Now, if I can find the end, it'd be great. Okay. There it is. Finally. Wait. Got away. just saw? Oh, here it is. And you just measure 1, 2. Of course, it's going to tangle. 3. I do a little extra. You never want to be short. You can always cut some off. And then I'm just going to do, measure the second string so it's already prepared when I sew in the next signature. 3-hole pamphlet stitch. That's basically what I do with all of them. Nothing fancy. Thread my needle. Okay. You have to get a needle with a big enough eye hole because, like I said, I always use embroidery thread, and I use all the strands, so it's a little bit thicker. So go through the center, find your center hole, and what I usually do is I will tuck the tail under one of the clips so I don't pull it all the way through. Find your top hole. See it, but I can't get it in. Oh, there it is. Pull it through, pull the string through. And then you're going to go, trying to center the camera. Okay, then you go into this hole. Easy, right? Go into the last hole, the bottom hole. This is the easy part. The tricky part is when you have to go back into, now of course, look what I did. See, I put I put it in the wrong hole. Wait a minute, what did I do? No, that's right. Oh, okay, why is it? Oh. Okay, I did something wrong here. No problem, let's pull it out. Let's try again. I put this one, the top one, in the back hole instead of the front hole. No problem. It wouldn't be me if I didn't put it in backwards. Okay. Thread the needle again. Okay. Now we went into the center. Okay. All right, now get that right hole. And we're going to go through the right hole. Okay. Now we're going to put it through the hole. Like that. There we go. Yep. Cool. Now go to the bottom. And like I was saying, this is the easy part. The hard part is going through the middle hole, and you try not to. You really can't, because if you split this thread here, it's almost going to be impossible for you to pull the thread through because they're going to get all entangled. So that's the difficult part. Okay. Everything seems like it's going through. Yeah. it's a miracle. I don't believe it. It went through the first time. Oh my gosh. I'm here for like 25 times trying to get it through the center. Okay. So what you need to do is you need one string on one side, one string on the other, and then I just do 3 times I tie it to make sure that it won't, come undone. And then I just snip off the ends, and so that's your first signature. Like I said, I'm not going to sew the other one. I'll be back and with some decorating the pockets, do a fabric flip, and cover the front of the journal. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll be back. All right, thank you.